Hey everyone, this is the update for yesterday, which would have been March the 12th. So, I worked at the store yesterday, and my first official time back on register, which can be its own little psychologically challenging thing at times, since the whole thing with my dad, although I've covered a couple of breaks and whatnot. But I was indeed opening cashier yesterday, the day that this video is about. Um, Unfortunately, and I alluded to this at the end of the last video, it was not for necessarily a great reason. Our beloved head cashier at our store, who is quite honestly been with the company just about as long as I've been on the planet, um, who everybody loves. Well, within the last few months, the poor gal lost a sister, and then today, yesterday, I guess, lost her brother. So, I was indeed able to move up my schedule a little bit from doing something a little bit later in the day to being our register opener while she can sort all of that out. I the last couple of weeks have really taught me a lot about being in that type of situation, and God bless her and her family. And it was a pleasure to be there for her. Boy. And I keep having to mention when I got moved to opening cashier, kind of moved up to cover some of my role, ended up again being this poor gal, Rochelle, who ends up covering a bunch of stuff that I get moved from or can't do for whatever reason. Sure enough, yesterday, this poor gal just keeps getting into it. Talking to her turns out on. Yeah, well, I'll get into that later. But, yeah. So I bagged most of the day. And, let's see. And the other thing about yesterday, the 12th, it was slow. By store standards, it was slow. Nice and quiet, not peaceful. I mean, not noisy. And people not being impatient and whatnot. And yeah, it was a very peaceful day, and I have a guess as to why. I mean, yeah, okay, don't believe everything you see with AI, but I have a pretty good feeling for what moisture around here feels like, and I think that was probably in the ballpark. Dang. And so, almost like it was Halloween or 4th of July or some kind of go outside holiday. But 1.77 inches of rain. God, I love it here. Anyway, so it was slow. That was bad rain even by our standards. So it was a nice quiet day. As a matter of fact, it was rainy enough that we started getting what I call Instacart martyrdom. So, you know these delivery services like Instacart or DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of those type of things that have the agreements where their shoppers actually come into the store and shop for customers? Anyway, I have found ever since those services were introduced that if you have a day that for whatever reason people really, really, really don't want to go out, like there's some wildfire and ashes coming down from the sky in random weird chunks, which has happened, or has caused the moon to look freaking red, which has happened, or really, 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 really heavy rain or frost or wind or some other type of male must go through song type of garbage. You know, that might be kind of hazardous. We don't want to go out in that. So we're going to pay you to do it. Yes, let's go ahead and martyr the Instacart shoppers. And you will see that when we have those really kind of crummy days, that the percentage of orders, Instacart's the big one that my company uses, but the percentage of those type of transactions just go up exponentially. And I would guesstimate that somewhere yesterday we were over a third, and that is nowhere near normal. So it was a crummy day, but it was fairly quiet. Let's see. After that, I went to the gym. Decent enough workout, except that when I was doing a, overarm extension, I felt something pinch, which, hindsight being 2020, I will complain more about in the update for the 13th, because dang, it's going to be a couple of days on this one. Anyway, so there was that. Let's see. Oh, and after the gym, I spent far too long, like 25 minutes, debating where to get a burrito from. Looking at various examples on websites. Ended up going to Muchas Gracias, which is a Northwest-based fast foodie chain, and it's decent. But anyway, probably won't pick that one again. And after 25 minutes, probably should have picked something else. But anyway, let's see. After I get done filming this, when I'm actually doing the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in the 13th episode, I might address that laundry. For those of you who haven't been following along, while my father was still alive, 16 days ago, I did a bunch of laundry, and I've been clocking ever since how long it took me to get around to finally folding and putting all that stuff away. And like I said, this is day 16. Again, granted, about a week for my whole father situation, but still, day 16. We'll get there. Maybe I'll do a little bit today, before the next video. We'll see. Unfortunately, I was actually going to do laundry yesterday, but today's excuse, I've actually used this one before, but I did the whole get home, eat my burrito, and then all of a sudden went to the couch and out like a light. And what part of why that was, you'll notice that the previous 4 updates before this were all filmed on the same day, and I was up until midnight before that 6 a.m. shift doing that. I hope you enjoyed the content. So I did 4 videos and then got really tired, so then I was late on another video because I was too tired to fall asleep on the couch. For those of you following along at home, that's kind of how it went. Anyway, let's see. And I mentioned earlier my colleague mentioning something otherwise that was awful, and this pertains to that I said I'd address later. And one of the other gals that works at my job, and I alluded to this yesterday as well, but I didn't do a very good job of it. Who about a year ago, as a matter of fact, like a year and a week ago. I think this date and my dad's date are like one day off. But anyway, so she lost a daughter. Something that nobody should ever have to experience. And the daughter had a couple of daughters of her own. And on Sunday, the father of those 2 daughters, fatal car crash. So, and my colleague's involvement was that she happened to be driving by and actually saw it. Not while it was happening, but still just seeing the aftermath of it and finding out that was that. Yeah. So when I start, getting too caught up with the whole thing with my dad, God bless my colleagues, because it could be so much worse. God bless. Godspeed. Let's see. Here I am again out of time. It's been about a week that I've been home after my father, and I'm doing okay. Emotionally, we're getting there. I think I'm probably all cried out. The hardest part is actually getting motivated to do anything. And there's a lot of stuff to do. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me until the end, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.